Welcome to a short preview of the SCIMS quoting software. The program has been developed specifically for civil contractors by JCA Job Management Software and is fully integrated with SCIMS. The software is designed around the industry standard first principles estimating method, where the cost of the quotes is calculated based on the usage and cost of the resources required to complete various tasks. First principles estimating is sometimes known as elemental or resource-based estimating, and it's widely used because it's simple to use, easy to maintain, and provides accurate quotes because they're based on the cost of actual resources used. The opening screen displays a list of all the quotes laid out on 4 tabs. Active quotes are current quotes being worked on or waiting on a response from the client. Quotes converted to jobs is a list of quotes that you have won and they've been converted to SCIMS jobs so they can be managed using SCIMS. Lost quotes is a list of quotes that have not gone ahead for various reasons, and keeping track of why you have lost out on quotes can provide valuable information for the next quote. The remaining tab has a list of every quote for quick reference. To see the details of any quote, double-click on the row in the table. The main quote screen has 3 tabs holding information about each quote. The main details tab displays who the quote is for, what type of work is being done, the value of the quote, and the site address and contact details. The method of adding a margin to the quote is selected on this screen. Quotes are attached to clients or debtor records, and this gives quick and easy access to information about the client and a list of all the quotes prepared for specific clients. The map location button will display the site location on a Google map if it is available. The line items tab is where all the estimating for the quote is done. Resources can be added by entering them into each line or in groups by selecting from the expense types of materials, subcontract, plant or labour. Complex items can be created separately and then brought back into the quote as a single item. This allows you to hide the calculation method and quantities from the client, as all they would see on the quote is the item description and its rate. A standard resource list is provided as an example, and you can add your own resources and adjust the rates as required to suit your style of contracting. The resources are broadly classified into 9 expense types, such as materials, subcontract, labour and plant, and these are used to provide quick selection and can also be used as one way to apply margins to the base cost. The value of the resources is always at cost, without profit, so that a true cost for the work can be calculated. The margin can be added later and so is easily modified if required when negotiating with a client, and at that point it's critical to know the true actual cost of the job. In this example, let's look at a quote to clear some land for a local developer. We can enter some details of the job and the work start and finish dates. And a date to contact the client to see how the progress of the quote is going. At this point you can decide how you'll present the information to your client. If you need to provide details of how you'll perform the work and a breakdown of items, then each resource can be detailed. However, if you want to just present a price, you can still create a detailed quote but hide the details. You can also combine both methods. Let's select the resources we required from the quote line items. And the main thing we're going to need is plant. From the list of our own plant, we can select the items we need. I'm going to need an excavator with a wood shear, an excavator with a breaker, a float to get the gear to the site, a loader, a truck and trailer, and a water cart. The selection of the items is quite simple. Just click in the tag box. Saving those resources will bring each of the items back into the quote and we can fill in the quantities. So if I need the wood shear excavator there for a day, I put in 8 hours. If I'm going to need the breaker for say 4 days, I can put in 32 hours. It's going to take about 6 hours to get the gear to the site. I'm going to need the loader for a couple of days. I'm going to need the truck and trailer for a couple of days, and a few hours of the water cart. I've also got to get rid of the material and send it to the tip. So I click on the materials, search for an item called tip fees, tick that, bring it back in. I think there's about 100 cubic metres, and my estimate is just about finished. After selecting all the resources, the last thing I need to do is save and print the quote. As you can see from the display, all the items are highlighted to give me a price, and it's followed up by conditions of quote. It may not suit you to expose all that information to the client. You may just want to give them some details of what you're going to do and a price, and if that's the case, we can do the quote an entirely different way. So let's discard this one and try again. For this example, we'll create an item estimate. We enter our description of work, and once again we go back into the plant to select the items of plant that we require. After selecting our items, we save them, fill in the quantities, pick up our tip fees, and close. The difference is that in this example we have a single item and a price. When we print the quote, we get a different presentation. Presentation of the quote is important, and the third tab holds the contact names who will receive copies of the quote, and a choice of quote formats, letters and general working conditions that may be appropriate to the job. When you print the quotes, they can be mailed or emailed as PDFs, or saved and printed again as a PDF. When you win the job, the information from the quote can be easily converted into a SCIMS job, and you can then use the integrated management processes provided by SCIMS. The job can also be transferred into the JCA job costing system, which provides full cost management, accounting and payroll processes. As you can see from this short preview, the SCIMS quoting software is fast and easy to use. Please contact the CCF in your state for more information and a trial copy of the software. Thank you for viewing this presentation.